Many people think that the civil war in Syria started overnight when people started protesting or people started shooting. Either police started shooting people or people started shooting police. But I believe that the war in Syria has deeper roots, roots that go much deeper into our personal lives. The conflict in Syria started with education. Being at UWC, I was reassured that education is not just what you get in the classroom. Education is much more. Education is your daily experiences, how you communicate with people, how you learn. And when I was in Syria, our education system taught us nothing like that. It didn't teach us critical thinking. Never asked us for our opinions. All the essays would be descriptive or narrative instead of the essays that ask for our opinions. In my opinion, a better education system in Syria, an education system that teaches how to communicate, how to learn, how to be creative, would have prevented the war and all the tragedy that's happening now in Syria.
I have two moms. They are from Spain. They are not a couple, and they adopted me when I was 1 year old. And they adopted from China, from a Chinese orphan. And the reason that a lot of more girls like me are adopted is because of the gender discrimination and the only child law. So this is because in China, if you're a boy, when you get married, your wife is gonna go to live with you, even if you are in a different village, and you both are gonna help your parents. And that's why most of the people don't want a girl, like a daughter, because they're gonna lose her when she get married, and they only can have one child. So that's why most of the girls are given in adoption or abandoned in the wild or in fields or somewhere else.
It wasn't until I came to UWC that I really started to feel okay with myself, with who I was as a person. Back home, I lived in a very conservative, rather closed-minded community. I was raised in a very devoutly Catholic family. So I was raised with a very strict image of what should and should not be. It makes it kind of difficult, I guess, as a child, when your imagination runs wild, to kind of be restricted down to someone else's ideas of what should and shouldn't be. It was this summer that I first came out to my parents. This summer is when I first told them that I am gay. And it was hard. It was definitely very hard, one, to tell them, but I think it was even harder to see the reaction, which I think is why it was so hard to tell them. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Joseph. I'm from Syria, and the reason I came to UWC is to learn how to understand other people and connect with them on a deep level. After being here for a year, I'd say that I truly learned how to connect with people really deeply and understand where they're coming from, their point of view, although it's vastly different from mine sometimes.
Hello, I'm Elaine. I'm from Spain, and I really enjoy being here in UWC because people come here to help to create a sustainable future and to be the change maker of the world.
Hi, I'm Alex Flores from Colorado, and I love being at UWC because everyone's different. Everyone comes from different socio-cultural and socio-economic backgrounds, different political backgrounds. Everyone has a different story to share.
There's always something happening in the world every day. Syrian refugees, movements to European countries, Afghanistan's war against jihadist extremist militant groups, or the consequences of Russia's annexation of Crimea. You've always heard the news, but have you heard about personal anecdotes and perspectives of people who experience the news?
At UWC, people share so many insightful personal experiences and opinions on the world's ongoing problems in their daily conversations. We have people right here who are refugees from conflict zones, or who have had their house bombed in a war, and we don't want our stories and perspectives to be confined only to our conversations or to the UWC bubble. We want more and more people to be fully aware of what is happening around the world, about how everyday news is affecting us in different social, cultural, and individual ways, and how the world's news affects you.
We, United World Podcast, are therefore an organization founded by UWC-USA students, which dedicates to sharing different perspectives, experiences, and analyzation of world's news with our audience, including but not limited to students at UWC-USA and at the other 14 United World Colleges around the globe.
To celebrate UWC Day, we're going to upload our very first podcast on September the 21st, and we'll keep you updated frequently with new podcasts on what's going on in the world.
And again, why are we doing this? Because United World College makes educational forces to unite people, nations, and cultures for peace and a sustainable future.
Stay tuned.